Hey, Village, what is going on? I know that it is late. It is 10:38 p.m. Central Standard Time here in the great state of Alabama, and I have been on the internet uh, for the past hour or so listening to Larry Reed live and a host of other people just doing some research and whatnot. And I happened to come across some information that I thought you guys would definitely be interested in if you watch The Real Housewives of Potomac. It has been a jaw dropping mess. And I'm not kidding. It has been everything but real. Like, we have found out so many things, and I have so many receipts. And I was going to wait to do this tomorrow. But then after I found out that Jamal Bryant went live tonight, it seemed like it was the perfect opportunity to come in and talk about this stuff because it is absolutely jaw dropping to say the least. I can't even believe this is happening. So, if you saw the reunion, you guys already know what I'm talking about. You already know what's going on. I'm going to pull up my chat and try to mute this so you guys already know what I'm talking about. Just a second. All right, we've got that muted so I can see what you guys are talking about. Shout out to the people that are in the room right now. I appreciate you guys being here. It is so much to unpack. It just can't. I was prepared for tomorrow to talk about Juan Dixon and his cheating. I was prepared to talk about Wendy um, and her being surprised at Monique about fan support after altercations and denies alliances and all this kind of stuff. I was prepared to just, gab about the Real Housewives of Potomac. And then I was going to talk about Giselle, omitting Jamal Bryant because he did not show up for the reunion. However, uh, Jamal Bryant went live tonight, and I was like, what are you doing? So I had to put some things in perspective. I had to put some things in my watch later file for you guys so we can see together what is going on. Now, he came live, but then it was like he deleted the live stream. But you guys know that uh, whatever you put out on the internet, um, yeah, it stays on the internet. So I'm going to start from the beginning for you guys who may not, be up on the 411, or if you don't watch Real Housewives of Potomac. We are in the season right now of the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion. And so this drama started right before the reunion. Now, I was excited because I thought Jamal Bryant was actually going to be in the house on the reunion, sitting behind the lovely Gizelle Bryant. And of course, he wasn't there. So Giselle Bryant confirmed that she and her ex-husband turned boyfriend now, Jamal Bryant, they are still together. And she said that during the reunion, Housewives of Potomac. Giselle shed light on her relationship with Jamal when host Andy Cohen asked her how things were going. And Giselle confirmed the relationship, but she did admit that there were times when they had problems. If you watched the show, you would understand what Giselle was talking about the long distance, not living in the same, city and state, and how it was just hard to, have that relationship. And we'll go back to, the other ladies, Wendy, and then, Juan, and oh my God, all of that. But tonight I was shocked because Jamal, even though he didn't show up to the Housewives reunion, he did, however, show up on a live stream. And so there were two people that I found that actually had the recording, and one was Muriel H., and the other is Roxy Queens, New York City. And I think I'm going to watch Roxy with you guys because it's shorter. It looks like he was on for almost 30 minutes, but I want to see what he has to say about all of this. And I will be doing commentary in between. So I don't want you guys to be all like bothered by that. But this is YouTube, and y'all know we have to do some stuff. All right. I think I've gotten to the place where he comes on. I'm going to give her a like. Okay. It tells him because everywhere I would turn on social media and on my phone, I was met with the words, congratulations. This is true. Immediately when I heard congratulations, I thought, wow, that's great. Somebody sees the work of the church. That in spite of quarantine, the churches being shut down, new birth refused, even with closed doors. Okay, hold on, you guys, because I want to make sure you guys can hear. So I'm going to make sure, hey, it's me. I'm going to make sure you guys can hear what I can hear. So I'm going to share the audio as well. All right, so we got that. I'm going to go back to the video. Here we go. Doors to close our eyes to abject poverty and food. Now, what he just said, he was like, people were meeting him saying congratulations, and he thought people were talking about the church, but, they were talking about other things. Security. For the last 7 weeks, we've been blessed to be able to feed 7,000 individuals in metropolitan Atlanta with fresh groceries that we've partnered with Trader Joe's, Publix, Panera Bread, Atlanta Food Bank, and donations from gracious people like you. I thought when I read in social media and blogs, the congratulations was that we were doing the work of Christ, feeding the hungry and taking care of those who were destitute. When I realized that the congratulations were not about us opening up the King's table, I immediately thought that maybe, just maybe, congratulations were in order because we were able to secure some 5, 7, 10,000 COVID-19 tests.
I spend way too much on bad food.
All right, guys, we got commercials. $8 salad, hey, just be real. Kind of around. All right, here we go. We're going to get back to the video. 10,000 COVID-19 tests. I thought people were extending and issuing congratulations to us because we attempted to do it about a month ago and was met with open rebuke because there were those who said that they couldn't afford the laboratory processing fee. So we postponed it until every person could have access. So we were able to partner with a laboratory and with a testing site, both owned and operated by Black women. So those congratulations, considering that so many of our Black businesses are failing and finding themselves without any support, even with the stimulus package that evades minority businesses. So when it is that we opened up our parking lot this coming Sunday, Mother's Day, and said that COVID testing would be free to all, uninsured, underinsured, Medicaid, there will be no price, and you don't even have to register. You just show up, stay in your car, and all of the African-American healthcare providers who are volunteering will come to your car and test you Okay, listen, I'm fast forwarding little by little because I want to get to the actual, happenings. I want him to address, the issue.
People know about providing free testing to some 7 to 10,000 people on Mother's Day. But reckless and irresponsible bloggers who went on with no facts, with no evidence, and might I add, with no truth, to make a baseless accusation that I had fathered a baby in April, May, February, January, here in Atlanta, and was hiding this baby from some mother in Atlanta or in my church. That number one is 1,000% untrue.
Okay.
1,000%.
1,000% untrue.
In days gone by, I usually don't say anything. Michelle Obama informed us when they go low, we go high. If it was just for me, I could just withstand it, ignore it, and keep going. But I had to think about my daughters, who are now of the internet age, who have to read these falsities by cowards who would write things with no boundaries, no compassion, no understanding, but flagrant lies. I had to think about the church that I am pastoring and grateful to pastor, New Birth Missionary Baptist Church here in Stonecrest, Georgia, who has gone through a battery of assault and attacks on the internet before I ever came. I made a commitment to God and to these people.
I had to stop right here because this is my thing. Um, had you not been so reckless in the first place, none of this would even be happening. And I'm saying this because Jamal Bryant is a pastor. Hey, Keisha, Jamal Bryant is a pastor, okay? You cannot do whatever, whenever, however, why ever when you're in the public's eye. And Jamal Bryant was in the public's eye before he even got this church. And let me just say, before he got this church, he was dating the R&B songstress Tweet, and then after that, we didn't hear anything. He was getting back with Gizelle. But in the midst of all this, watching Larry Reed live about an hour ago, I found out that there was this woman named Tanya, and he has been dating or seeing or sleeping with this woman. And I don't mean sleeping, y'all know what I mean, but that's what people say, you know what I'm saying. But you've been seeing this woman, she says, for 8 years. For 8 years. So that means the time that you spent with Gizelle, the time that you spent with Tweet, and whomever else that the public, caught you with on camera or whatever, you were still seeing this other woman who happens to also be a pastor. That's what she said on Larry Reed Live. Okay. You've been seeing this woman for 8 years, and you did not even bother to show up to the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion to stand by or behind Gizelle. You said that you were her man and that's your woman, and you guys are, you know, reconciling. You guys are trying to get back on track. You want your happy family back, but you didn't even show up for Gizelle. Now, I've never been Team Gizelle, you guys, but I did feel for her. That Monique brought out this big tablet, and we'll go back to this after this video, but she brings out this big tablet of receipts. And Tanya happened to reach out to a lot of people, Monique being one of them. So in the video that you're watching right now, he has a big old binder, just like Monique had a big binder on the reality show. My thing is, where were you in your binder on the reality show when you were supposed to have Gizelle's back, the mother of your children? Now, this is just me. I don't know this man from a can of paint, But when you put your business on Front Street, you know what I'm saying? And you're a pastor and you've been in the public's eye for years. I mean, at some point in time, you got to clean up, your mess ups, and you can't continue to just keep messing up. Now, what I'm interested in hearing is if he is going to deny Tanya. Hey, LaShawn, how are you? Let's keep looking. Let's see what he has to say.
That I would never take them through a storm, through hardship, through embarrassment, through anything that would bring shame to the body of Christ. And I've held on to that covenant and to that vow to God and to this church. Had to think about what this would mean to the gospel. That people will, in fact, use this as a runway to believe that you can't outlive your past. Because it is fodder for so many people who believe that if you made a mistake in the past, you'll keep doing them in the present and relive them in the future. God is a God who restores and transforms. We sing it often. Things I used to do, I don't do anymore. Places I used to go, I don't go anymore.
All right, okay. We hear you, Pastor Jamal Bryant. However, and let me get through this. I'm going to get through this commercial so I can get back to what he's talking about. But we hear you, Jamal Bryant.
And as a consequence, I stand not as somebody who has done everything right, haven't dotted all of my I's, haven't crossed all of my T's. But one thing that I can stand true to is that the man that I am now is not the man that I used to be. And all of it is accredited to God's saving power, his grace, and his forgiveness.
Okay, so just to catch you guys up, he hasn't denied anything except the baby at this point. He says that he does not have a new baby. He has not fathered a baby with anybody in his church, New Birth. So there are no extra children. That's what he's saying right now. Keisha says, if so, then he didn't cheat. But why would the girlfriend put the messages out? Exactly. Tanya reached out to several people. And I wasn't even going to go live with this tonight, but I just got out of a live stream with Larry Reed live, and Tanya, the ex-girlfriend, now she's an ex because she did say that it was over. She was on the phone with Larry Reed, and she all but confirmed in her pastoral way, because y'all know they get long-winded sometimes. Larry asked her one question and she stayed on the phone for like 15, 20 minutes. I was like, oh my God. But, in her roundabout way, she confirmed. Yes, Tanya is the lady pastor, Keisha. Yes, she's the lady pastor. She does not have a child by Jamal Bryant, but she did confirm their relationship for 8 years, which means any and everybody that he was seen in public with, somebody was the side chick. Okay? Because Tanya said for 8 years. They were seeing each other for 8 years. And it just ended. Hey, Jay. Tanya is messy just like the rest of them. Because let me tell you something. If I was in a relationship with a public figure and nobody knew who I was, nobody would still know who I am, because that's embarrassing. And not only, I mean, it's not only messy, but how shame would I be that this man has kept me hidden for 8 years? Okay, Pastor. Anyway, let's keep watching.
There's somebody who needs to know you can outlive your past. It doesn't matter what it is that people think or what people say. But in the words of William Shakespeare, to thine own self be true.
Uh-huh.
Amazingly, I read in physics when I was still a high school student.
Really?
That there was something about the force of momentum.
Okay, we're not doing
whether
this.
it is that can stop you is what's in front of you. What is behind you?
We're not doing this.
I am grateful unto God that the Lord is allowing and affording us the opportunity
See, and I'm fixing to say something like Keisha. They were obviously he was sharing a lot. Okay, let me just say something right here because I am a minister. I am licensed and ordained. I have preached and sang all over the place, and I'm just gonna say what I'm gonna say because this is how I feel when you are asked to make a statement and on the claims, you know what I mean? That do you have any children out there? How many women were you dating? It's a yes or no. There's no gray area. And when you start adding in scripture and when you start adding in, quotes from popular people and all that kind of stuff, to me, you're not doing this, to credit your sins. This is just making you look more stupid. Don't bring God into this because if Tanya was telling the truth, Pastor Jamal Bryant, how about God wasn't in the room when y'all were doing the do? This is fornication. Clear and simple. Do you think he was with Tweet all those months or years or however long they were? And it wasn't no hanky panky going on? Ha ha. Listen, I'm not falling for it. I'm not. I'm not falling for it. But then you'll bring God into this. You'll bring Jesus in. You'll bring, whoever else into this. And you start talking about physics and all this other stuff. I'm not buying it. And you're absolutely right. Who said that? Jay Deflection. And I'm not here for it. Just Be Real said that he will come back and say he didn't know it was his. Listen, dude said, hey Tanya, dude said that he does not have a kid. He doesn't have a baby. LaShawn said he needs to read through his Bible a few more times because he is off. Where was the Bible when he was in the bed with the woman for 8 years? Okay, let me stop. Let's continue.
To do a great work in Atlanta. And I'm telling you that no power, no principality, no hater, no envy, no jealousy,
My
no
God.
spite, no vindictiveness will be able to stop the momentum of God that is moving in my life and in the life of New Birth Church. I'm thankful for all of you who have extended prayers and genuine, deep-seated concern for me, for my mental health, and even for my family. I'm grateful. Please, whatever you do, especially on this National Day of Prayer, please keep praying for me. I am not what I should be, but I thank God I'm not what I used to be.
Right.
In the words of that great American writer, rumors of my demise have greatly been exaggerated.
Oh.
It's Mark Twain who said that.
Okay,
Mark so those Twain. Of you who were celebrating prematurely, hoping that the enemy was going to win, that character was going to crack.
See, here's the thing. Nobody was rooting for the devil to win. We want you to win because you're a pastor and you said that you were with Gizelle Bryant, your ex-wife, the woman that you have children with. You said that you were with this woman. Then it comes out on the reunion that you only did this for the show. You were trying to help Gizelle out. So that means that the relationship you said you were trying to rekindle was fake. Okay? The only thing, we're 8 minutes and 58 seconds into this video, and the only thing he has denied is having a new baby with a member of the church.
And ethics would somehow elude me.
And he's quoting Mark Twain.
But for the bloggers who, in fact, wrote this with no names, no evidence, no proof, and all the more, no truth, this blog is for you. I wanted to extend to all of you congratulations.
Unbelievable.
All of the bloggers who, in fact, printed, reposted, and shared this live, congratulations. Because in the next 24 hours, you'll be receiving an immediate letter from our attorneys, not just a stop, a cease and desist, but calling for an immediate retraction and a written apology, taking ownership for your carelessness and making absolutely no regard for truth. I'm telling you, truth crushed to the ground will rise again. And so for all of you who have ever survived slander, ever survived scandal, ever survived rumor, ever survived haters, ever survived being stabbed in your back, congratulations are in order.
Oh God.
Millions didn't make it, but you're one of the ones that did.
Now he's quoting songs. Lord have mercy. Thank you, Roxy Queens NYC, for doing this. I'm going to leave her link in the description box so you guys can check her out. I'm sure she has a lot more content that we would love to see. And like I said, when you put something out on the internet, it never goes away. So I am to understand that Jamal actually deleted this and he thought that, he was going to get away with it or something. Like, I don't know what he thought. Yeah, he thought he was going to get away with that. Um he did not. Okay? He did not. Now, let me share this here with y'all. Am I sharing? Are we good? Can you guys see that? You can. All right. And I can see you guys in the chat. I have my monitor with me. No, Jay, we're not doing no sympathy. Ain't no no, absolutely not. I think it's just stupid. Yeah. Now he's got lawyers. Okay. Just be real said his Bible was in the car on the dashboard. LaShawn said under the bed or deep inside a drawer with dust all over it. Because let me let you know something. Fornication is a no. Just Be Real says, what level team does he have? They all need to be fired. I don't know. I just am in shock. Now, one time in this entire video, did he stand behind Gizelle? Not one time in this video did he say anything about the relationship. He didn't say anything about the relationship with Tanya, but she had plenty to say on the internet. I'm also going to leave a link to Larry Reed Live and that interview so you guys can catch that tea as well. Now, as far as I know, I mean, she was the other woman. She was the side chick, this Tanya. So, I mean, hey, she knows what she's talking about. Let me just say this though. In listening to the side chick, she really sounded hurt. She sounds like she is mad, she is hurt. I don't have a reason not to believe her, but I just don't like the way she did everything she could to not answer Larry's question. The question on the table was, did he send you the text message saying, don't worry, this is just for TV? And then it ended up being a 20-minute, ruha. And I'm like, seriously? Like, this is not what anybody asked you. We don't care about any of that. We just want to know, are you the side chick and did he send you that text message? Are you the reason he didn't show up to the reunion? Cuz clearly she was left alone. Now, I'm to understand that this is a 3-part reunion, which sometimes there are 3 parts to the reunion, but a big portion of this reunion, especially part 1, was dealing with Gizelle and Jamal. And then we have Monique, who had receipts in a binder on everybody. She said that there was a tab for herself as well. But listen, I can't with this guy. And I don't believe some of the stuff that he's saying. I don't believe it. Have you heard Jamal's response to Monique he posted tonight? I have not. I don't know if he posted it. He probably posted it on Twitter because Jamal Bryant loves Twitter. He loves Twitter. I believe her. However, she is responsible for allowing a man to string her along for 8 years. Exactly. 8 years? Who? Okay. Who does that? Who does that? 8 years? You were Jamal's girlfriend, secret lover, whatever, for 8 years. And not one time did you stop and say, Jamal, when are we getting married? Before it became 8 years? Or were you just so complacent? You know what I'm saying? That it's just, well, I have Jamal and one day he'll make me his wife. You decided to come out and speak when you saw him on the show with Gizelle, which means either you were pissed off, maybe y'all had already broken up. You know what I'm saying? Like what really happened there? Sugar says that he recorded on Instagram full video on Neighborhood Talk. Oh, I know Layla Lynn TV. I've watched that before. So, Neighborhood Talk. Let me check that out for a second. You guys keep talking. I'm going to go to Neighborhood Watch and see. Let me see. Neighborhood Watch, and this should have come now. Let's see. Yeah, he bought his own binder. He sure did. I saw the binder. He did the video on Instagram, but he took it down. He did take it down. He sure did. Neighborhood Watch. Now, this may not be the right Neighborhood Watch. I don't think this is the right Neighborhood Watch. Might need to look at Layla because I don't think this is the right one. No, I don't think this is the right Neighborhood Watch. No, it's not. So let me go. Let me check out Layla's. Uh, yeah, because that ain't it. Okay, Layla Lynn. We're checking. Look, I got receipts on here on the computer with you guys because I don't want to be wrong. I don't want to mince words. We're doing this together. And so now she does. She has Jamal brings his own binder and addresses the situation. Let's see what here. Let's see what she has to say here. All right, I'm going to get rid of this screen and I'm going to share the next screen and I'm going to cut on the audio. Here we go. So I'm going to go here and see what Layla has to say about it.
The most human trait is to want.
All right, I'm going to mute those commercials. All right, here we go.
What's up, you guys? Now, I know I normally don't post videos this late at night, but I had to let you all know that Pastor Jamal Bryant brought out his own binder and his own book of receipts. Actually, he called it the cash register. He was printing out his own receipts and he had a binder full of things that he addressed regarding the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion.
Mm-hmm.
He started off by addressing the situation with his daughters and why it appeared that they weren't open to him on the show, including him missing their family photo shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Then he addressed Gizelle's father and his exaggeration about Jamal having 6 or 7 baby mamas.
Mm-hmm.
And he also addressed his ex-girlfriend or ex-partner who allegedly sent Monique and other bloggers like myself the text messages between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
And he read out more of the text to give more context to their conversation. And then he brought it on around to Chris and Monique Samuels. He said that they have his phone number, but he has their address. And he said that Monique is married to a man with anger management issues, and that is the real problem here. And honestly, that's something I never thought about personally.
So he is throwing shade at the whole cast. Meanwhile, you could have addressed these people had you shown up.
Actually made that connection myself. But he said Chris Samuels has CTE, which is a medical condition that some football players develop from being hit in the head too hard year after year after year. And it can only be diagnosed posthumously, like in the case of former football player Aaron Hernandez. They can't diagnose someone with it until they're gone on to be with the Lord, and then they can really take a look at that person's brain. But Jamal said some ex-teammates of Chris Samuels have told him that they are concerned about Chris having CTE. So this whole binder thing either just got messier or it just got cleaned up. Watch the video, leave a comment, and let me know what you think it is.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Joy to the world.
Okay, you guys, if we've already seen some of these clips, I'm going to fast forward, okay? So we've already seen the intro.
World. Hope that everyone appreciate all of you. Get my binder and
Okay, there's the
I
binder.
don't want to keep you long, but I wanted to make sure that I had everything that I needed for tonight. Let me first apologize for the delay. I know ordinarily you would have looked to hear from me
Okay,
a
we have
long
already
week,
heard that.
all for the good of the whole, the good of the community, the good of the people. Let me say to you, I have been.
Watch live and local news on a variety.
Okay, we're gonna mute that commercial. It'll be gone in 2 seconds. All right. Um, I don't know, Keisha. He just.
Wishes of to you. I have been.
Okay, so right here we're gonna pause. I see a lot of comments, a lot of a lot of tea, a lot of shade.
Wishes of Gizelle, who asked me not to respond, not to say anything. So for those of you who were overwhelmingly concerned that I hadn't said anything, had not given any defense, was because I was honoring what it is that Gizelle desired. Because of mounting moments that have happened in social media, I thought it prudent that I not remain silent so that my silence would not be confused with consent. Let me open by saying, those of you who know me, I'm always a straight shooter. So as a consequence, you need to know from the jump, tonight is not an apology. Tonight, I'm not asking for anybody's forgiveness. Tonight is not about a confession. Tonight is for clarity.
Okay, I'm gonna pause him right there. It sounds a little messy. He should be apologizing to Giselle. Maybe he did that, behind closed doors. But to leave her hanging on the reunion, not show up, not even a phone call, that was messy. It was a little heartbreaking, because she was up there having to defend their relationship. So when you're in a relationship, there are two people, right? So the other half of the relationship should have been there and should have had her back, just like the rest of the husbands. I'm just saying, it looked a little phony. It looked a little phony. Sugar Honey said he's inviting his entire congregation to watch next week's reunion episode where Chris alleged to have tried to physically attack Giselle and Robin. Oh God.
I have for 5 seasons, I've never said anything about Potomac. For 5 seasons, not said a word in a sermon, in a subtweet, in a text. I average at least 56 interviews a year. And in no condition and in no term have I ever mentioned Housewives of Potomac, good, bad, or ugly, in support. A couple of things that I wanted to share that I think prudent for our discussion tonight. I have long since not been an advocate for many reality television shows because I don't think that it represents the best of who we are, nor does it advance our progress, our maturity, and our brilliance. A bone of contention between Gizelle and I for years was about her participation in the show and how it is that I did not support it.
So let me stop you right here, bishop, pastor, or whatever. If you were not in support of the show, you would have had a serious conversation with Giselle saying that you weren't going to be on the show. I'm not coming to the show. I'm not going to be on the show. And if we're to have a relationship, then I'm not going to be a part of the show. She wouldn't have brought your name up. So, how was it that she was able to coerce you to support the episodes that you did appear on? You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Lies. Lies. And he has been on reality TV before because I didn't even know who he was. I didn't even know who this guy was. I never even heard of him until reality TV. So y'all are absolutely right. He's been on TV before. And I think I saw him a little bit before he started dating Tweet, which, like I said, if he was dating Tweet publicly, he was still with Tanya in the privacy behind the sheets, behind the curtains, behind the door, because she already claimed 8 full years and the relationship just ended a day or two ago. So somebody somewhere is telling a lie. Okay.
In baby steps of reconciliation, I agreed to be on it against my better judgment,
Mm-hmm.
against my wisdom, and even against my convictions.
Mm-hmm.
I wholeheartedly regret participating. And I want you to know that I will never
Mm-hmm.
be on the Housewives of Potomac or anything in that franchise ever again.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted you to know why. I took a couple of days to be sober of thought and clear of mind. I would not, in fact, operate in emotionalism, but in sound judgment. So I want to tell you why you will never see me on the Housewives of Potomac again. It has been a gross misrepresentation of my character, my ministry, and my humanhood. There are a couple of things that have happened this season that require immediate redress. Many of you who are watching bombarded me with accusations of abandoning my family, not being there for my girls for their photo shoot, as if I was just in Atlanta frolicking around and a participant.
I know where this is going. I see where this is going. Listen, Jay said Giselle's storyline is gone now. She never really had a storyline. It was just, yeah, she's the gatekeeper. Giselle is, you've always got to have somebody in reality TV to keep up the mess. She is like the bully of the show. And then you have little Ashley. She's like the little chihuahua. She never shuts up. You know what I mean? And then you have, Candace. And Candace, is always on the defense because somebody's always messing with her, I guess, because she's the littlest one. And then you have Karen, who's supposed to be the wise woman, we're not even going there. You know what I'm saying? Because she totally shocked me with one of the biggest lies, towards the end of the season. Just, and then you have Monique, and you don't really know what to do with Monique because, Monique was new. She had just moved to Potomac. You don't know what to do. Nobody knows what to do with Monique. It's like Monique kicked up a fight with Candace in my eyes just so she would have something more relevant to talk about. I mean, she just doesn't fit. Monique should have moved to Atlanta and been on the Housewives of Atlanta. She would have been a better fit. It's just she doesn't fit into this. And oh my God. Then there's Wendy. And honey, Wendy is a ball of fire. And I'm here for Wendy because Wendy is not a bully. You won't attack Wendy and think that it's over. Wendy don't even need her husband on the stage with her for this reunion, okay? Wendy can take care of herself. You're not gonna bark at Wendy and expect her not to bite back. So we're not even, you know what I'm saying? Wendy's cool. We're not even gonna mess with Wendy. But this right here is a hot mess. And I stopped the video because I just want y'all to know that I can feel the lie about to happen. So let's watch and see if I'm right.
Participating in willful neglect. The truth of the matter is, I was in South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
I was in South Africa coming back for the photo shoot and had a delay in Frankfurt, Germany for 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
The producers knew it, the network knew it,
Mm-hmm.
and as a consequence, my flight did not land in enough time.
Mm-hmm.
And none of that was mentioned. None of it was brokered. None of it was represented.
You notice how he said the producers knew it, but he never said Giselle knew it. Never, not once did he say, and my girlfriend knew it. We caught that. We caught that.
Secondly, what happened on Housewives of Potomac is that many of you misguidedly thought that it was in real time. It was, in fact, recorded a year ago.
We know that.
In 2019.
Everybody knows that when we watch this, there is a 6-month gap. Okay. So nobody is dumb enough to think that this is in real time. What we're talking about is that it was recent enough to where this is some hot mess that you're sitting on right now. You have not cleared anything up in a few months' time, Jamal Bryant.
And so you saw children who were not happy with me, but you didn't have context. It was their first day of school, and this is the very first time in their entire lives that the first day of school I was not present to pick them up or to take them. Any of you who have teenagers understand the emotional roller coaster of teenage girls. So consequence, I had just moved in their school. They were a new person, look like don't take for granted. The third thing that was
okay, here we go.
Put out there pejoratively was disparaging remarks made by my father-in-law, Mr. Curtis Graves, who is 83 years of age. He's 83 years of age, and unlike many, I was raised old school, that you never disrespect elders. I honor him.
I got to stop it right here. And I'm sorry, you guys, but I just have a lot of discrepancies. You haven't held a conversation with this man for 10 years. You've not sat down one time and talked to this man and had a conversation. And I totally agree with Larry Reed live when he said you didn't even apologize to this man for breaking your daughter's heart. Would you not expect the same thing from someone if your daughters were in a relationship or married and that person cheated on your daughter? Would you not expect some sort of explanation as to why you couldn't keep it in your pants? Why you couldn't just be with one woman? And you haven't held a conversation with this man, and he has no idea where your headspace was even at then or now. He has every right to say what he says and to be concerned. That's his child. So I'm a little shocked because he has all girls and he's not thinking about this as a father. My dad would have been like, "What? No, you ain't getting back with nobody." Like, do you understand what I'm saying? No, I don't believe this. You haven't sat down and talked with this man on or off camera. So I don't believe any of this that he's about to say. I'm sorry. I just don't.
He's an amazing man, has had incredible accomplishments, and he has every right to feel protective over his daughter. I've been divorced for now 10 years, and he and I have not had a heart-to-heart, man-to-man conversation about me breaking the heart of his baby girl.
I just said it.
Anybody who is married or been married understands that working with in-laws is a process and it is a journey. So that was, in fact, one of the very few times in 10 years that we have been in proximity. But I want on record that I honor him. He's made tremendous strides in history. He is my fraternity brother, and I want my children to always know that I honor their grandfather and Gizelle's father.
I call bull, because if that's your frat brother and he's so amazing, what happened to the relationship that you guys had? I mean, I'm just saying. You just admitted that you weren't in contact with this man for 10 years. You still have children. They're still grandchildren. You guys aren't talking at all, period. Please. Like, you don't care to talk to this guy. It doesn't matter how amazing he is. It doesn't matter that he used to be your father-in-law. You could care less. Otherwise, you probably would have spoken to him by now, wouldn't you think?
I then want to move. Let me make sure I'm the right page of my binder, because you can't bring me receipts if I got the cash register. Let me press the cash register. Yes, I dated a young lady in New York. In case you all missed it, I've been divorced for 11 years.
I thought you said
And
10.
single people date. When you date, sometimes it works.
Didn't he say 10 years? Where did the extra year come from?
And sometimes it didn't. In this instance, it did. Nothing immoral, illegal, or unethical took place. It did not work out. There is some clarity that needs to. I'm not married. I'm not engaged. So some of you have a strange relationship with language. You can't have a mistress while you're single. So
Actually, you can have a mistress while you're single if she's in hiding and nobody knew about her until now.
I never had a mistress. As a consequence, she has never been to visit me in Atlanta, never been to Newburgh, never been in my home. I've never been in her home. Now, you would think that things just move forward and people move on. They don't. So if we're going to show text messages, let's show all the text messages. Let's show the text messages.
Yes, let's.
Of the young lady asking to fly to Atlanta for my installation. Text message where I said, no, it's not a good idea. You're going to show the text message, show all the text messages where you asked to come down for Memorial Day. And I said, no, you can't come here. If you're going to show the text messages, show the text messages where you complained because I didn't open the door for you to speak on the Word Network. You're going to show the text message, show all of them, how it is that you wanted me to hire you to be on staff. I told you you weren't qualified. And so January, I brought in new staff members, 3 of them. My assistant pastor, Colleague Lemons, my internet pastor, Kervance Ross, and my emerging generations pastor, Cariana Turner. So if you're going to show the text message, show the text message.
I agree with you, just be real. That means that y'all hooked up at a hotel probably and unapologetic. He should speak on the text messages she presented. Absolutely. I agree with that as well. I'm still not hearing where you didn't have a relationship with this woman. I'm not hearing that. So what I'm hearing is a dance around words. He's dancing around if there was a relationship with this woman or not. Just because, you didn't pay for her to fly to Atlanta and that she's never been in your house and all this kind of stuff. It doesn't mean that you guys weren't together. In her mind, if y'all were having sex, and I don't know if you were or you weren't, thank God, because I wouldn't want to be a fly on the wall for that. But, she's getting it from somewhere that y'all were in a relationship. And it's quite obvious that she was hidden up until now because nobody had heard of this Tanya person up until you showed up on the Real Housewives of Potomac. And I still want to hear where you sent Tanya the text and said, and I quote, nah, this is just for TV. Let's see if he addresses that.
From January 5th, where you sent me in text, oh, I see you hired a young lady. You must be sleeping with her. To which I responded, no, I didn't even know her before I hired her. 56 people applied for the job, and she emerged because she is competent and because she is capable. And so for you to insinuate it is fraudulent. You're going to read the text messages. Read the text messages where you asked me to review your dissertation on Black women's empowerment. Told you it needed a revision because it doesn't have depth. It doesn't have enough.
If he has all these problems with this woman, I mean, why are you listen, out of everything that I just heard, I'm just keeping it real. Um, ain't no way a black man is going to continue to be in a relationship with somebody he has these many problems with, unless you're getting something out of the relationship that we can't see. It was either money, and we know it wasn't fame because Giselle gave you the fame, which is the real reason why you showed up on the Real Housewives of Potomac. Let's be clear. Just say what it is. You need to be in the public's eye. You need that camera time. So that's why you agreed to be on there. It was good enough for that, but it's not good enough for your character. But you still showed up in spite of how you feel. Bull. Also, let's look at um the woman, this Tanya woman. Did she say, are you sleeping with her too? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. We caught that.
Nuance, and there is no creativity. We're going to read the text. Read the text. How it is that you sent this, quote, receipts to 27 periodicals and blogs, hoping to sell a story. And of the 27 you sent it to, 25 dismissed it because they knew it had no merit, it had no weight. And so because doors were not opening, because you're chasing clout and an opportunity to get on a stage that gift and integrity necessitate, you then sent it to the executive producers of Bravo. Sent it to the executive producers of Bravo. They didn't respond. So you sent it to every person in the cast. Your dissertation is on the empowerment of Black women. So the question is, if you're empowering...
I mean, he is ripping this woman a new one, and you're like, okay, like, just get to the point. Was this really your girlfriend, or was this just your mistress? Which you already said, in order for me to have a mistress, like, you don't know what the definition of a mistress is, clearly. But you're dragging this woman on this video, dragging this woman, this invisible woman, on this video, but you still haven't declared whether, are you in love with Giselle? How come you didn't show up to the reunion? How come you didn't have her back? Because it's all about Jamal. Jamal got his camera time. He succeeded in doing what he wanted to do. He bought his girls a restaurant, and that got him camera time. He wanted people to see his little suit. He was in the car riding with Giselle. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Yeah, two equals an addition to. Exactly. Keisha said, so was he seeing Tanya and Giselle and broke it off with Tanya to get with the newly hired staff member? Sounds like you was slanging D like Monique said. I mean, everybody can't be lying. Everybody cannot be lying. April, hi. This guy needs to be removed and stepped down. The rules of engagement in church ministry. Jay said at this point, Jamal can read better than all the housewives. I mean, because he is reading, throwing tea, slanging shade. I mean, you don't sound like a pastor. I got to be honest with you. I after seeing this video, I would reconsider being a member of this church. I'm just saying. I can't.
Black women, why'd you send it to the entire cast and never send it to Giselle? You want to equip her and not break her or crucify her. And you thought something was awry. Then the responsible thing to do is to go to that woman. But you didn't do that. It's okay. What you didn't say in passing out this information is that you and your sister are starting a magazine, very flagrant, no circulation, poor editing.
Wow, really?
And so my coy in answering you
wow
about where I am and what I am doing is not as a friend, but because I didn't want it in publication.
This is ridiculous. What does that have to do with anything? You said burn the sweatshirt. Y'all need to leave the emoji alone for real. Y'all so messy. Who? Listen, We're not going to talk about who's messy, Katrina. If you didn't have anything to do with these women, there would be no mess. My what did that girl say? What's your motivation behind this? My motivation behind this is to get to the truth. He is deflecting, and I don't like it. How does he not claim Gizelle once? Exactly, John. Never, not one time has he been behind Gizelle, said Gizelle was his woman. We're getting back together. None of this. He's dragging people. And listen, my dad has been a pastor for like almost 35 years. I have never heard him talk about anybody's business out in public like this. Never. So you want to talk about messy? The pastor of New Birth is messy, feeding right into it, dragging people left and right. He calls Monique messy with her notebook, yet he comes on a live stream with his own notebook. I'm just saying. Jay says that he's right about that part. The fact that she claims women empowerment, she wanted to humiliate Gizelle. Well, I don't even think it was so much about wanting to humiliate Gizelle. She's trying to get back at him because at this point they probably broke up. He probably like pitched some fake fit so he could get out of it. And holds it upside down. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me just create something so I can break up with this woman. I need to be seen on the show. And this woman is looking at who is supposed to be her man riding in the car with his ex wife, now supposedly girlfriend. Yeah, she's pissed off. So she's reaching out to people, reaching out to everybody. Exact. And when you're hurt, you want to retaliate. She's acting like a girlfriend who just got hurt. Period. It's not right, but you know what I'm saying?
And I didn't trust it, obviously, wisely, that it wouldn't be
Thanks,
used
just be real.
otherwise, because every ass had a demand for something else. The only person.
That is true too. She did realize that she got played. And it doesn't matter if the realization came after 8 years or that he broke up immediately. The thing is she still got hurt. I can't say, "Oh, poor Tanya." I mean, who hangs on to somebody for 8 years and you don't have a ring? There was never a marriage. I mean, come now. I mean, 8 years? Like a light bulb should have went off at some point and been like, this ain't it, you know? And he's hiding you in plain sight. You thought she was joking at first? Oh, Tanya said no. What happened is he realized that she got played, so she's going to spill the beans. Exactly. A woman scorned. Exactly. And I don't believe she's lying. I don't know why he is still pastoring. Have no clue, except for fame. John says him and Gizelle have no chemistry and they don't show affection either. I mean, and he covered that up real good when they were in the car having the conversation on the way to the airport. And he said he was waiting for Gizelle. I just, this woman that you just said, I'm just meeting her for the first time and, all of this kind of stuff. So he was waiting to get that confirmation. And the kiss, like, after he got out of the car and they're like he's supposed to be going to the airport, was like so awkward. I was like, I don't know about this. Like, I'm sure that if it's not real, he's getting something out of it, and it had to be that he got his face on national television through this show. Yeah, I can't get over the 8 years either. That's like a hot mess on crack for real.
Person who bought into it was Monique. So
okay, we get to Monique now. Let's go to Monique.
Where's Monique? Oh, here she is. Monique saying those I've never met, never shook her hand, never been in a room with her. And yet she's assassinated my character with high level of ire, of anger and hostility, a man she's never met. Now, I've got to address this because on national, international television, you've labeled me a holy whore, I think is the word you used. Holy whore.
H-O-E.
So I need to give some address to that. I'm not sleeping with any woman in my church, and I have no babies in my church, and I have no inappropriate relationship with any woman in my church.
I like the way he keeps saying in my church. So you ain't gonna address the folks outside of the church. You just I have no inappropriate relationship with anybody at my church. Okay, I hear you.
Now, um, I'm sorry, I'm having trouble reading my own writing.
Uh-huh.
Oh, here it is.
Get it right now.
So I understand um, what the hostility was about and why the redirect of attention was on me. The redirect of attention on me. You teamed up with your best friend, who rest in peace has gone on to be with the Lord, and generated a story because you wanted to redirect because you thought a story was getting ready to break, that your baby is from your trainer. And that's what got your husband upset because he thought Gizelle. I want to tell you, Monique and Chris, it is not Gizelle who leaked that, but Monique, your best friend Gigi. We had nothing to do with it.
When I tell you this man is too messy to be sitting in a pulpit, can somebody tell him this is not pastor activity? This is not it.
You came hostile and angry, and it was misdirected rage. Misdirected rage because you live in a house with a man who has anger management, who doesn't mind expressing volatile behavior. And everything that I'm saying tonight is not conjecture.
How does he know Chris has anger management problems? Has he has he been in their house? Has he seen something ain't nobody else seen? My Lord.
This is not murder. This is self-defense. And so on Sunday, for the first time in 5 years, I'm inviting my audience to watch the reunion, Housewives of Potomac, where you will see Monique's husband try to attack my wife, my ex-wife, Ann Robin. And security had to be called, and he had to be subdued. And I'm very concerned. Monique, you all have my phone number as you expressed on the show, but I had you all's address. And because of grace, I didn't respond to that. Chris, you've got to take care of CTE. Yeah, some of your former teammates contacted me. They're concerned. Said, Jamal, please don't respond. CTE is a progressive degenerative disease from a history of trauma to the brain. And so just last week, you had an outbreak again of verbally assaulting a Black woman in Safeway. We have the footage of that, but I'm not going to air that. But I'm asking you to please.
How does he know this? How does he know this? Wouldn't this be on TV somewhere or in a blog? How does he know this? And the rest of us are just like, did it just air in Potomac or something? Like, what? See, while he's talking about he's getting his team of lawyers and all these blogs going to have to take all this stuff down, doesn't he think that Monique and Chris could do the same thing to him? Has Chris been diagnosed with any of this stuff? I mean, come on. Like, seriously. And even if what he's saying is true, you're yelling defamation of character, but yet you're being messy and doing it to somebody else. I mean, hey.
Please get help. I've tracked down your pastor, so all of what I'm saying is in love, so that your pastor can help you get the help that is needed and that is necessary. None of this really necessitated having it. I've not bothered any of you. I've not said anything disparaging against any of you. I've not attacked any of you.
Wow.
But I thought it was necessary for a couple of reasons. I thought it was necessary because of the failures of my past. It made the accusations of the present believable. And many of you began writing on my social media with no information, began attacking me with no information, start going all the way in with no information.
He keeps saying with no information, but he should be looking at Tanya because this is where the information came from. You think about it. You've reached out to, did he say 28, 29 blogs or, people in television? Somebody is going to leak this. Somebody's already talking about it. And there's no telling who else this woman has, talked to, given information that you thought was just between you and your mistress, because that's what she is, the side chick, the mistress, or whatever, Jamal. That is what she is. And I kind of do believe Tanya, you guys, because some of this stuff just doesn't sound like something you would literally just make up. And then she is putting herself in harm's way because she's also a pastor. So people now know who she is. If your pastor's name is Tanya and she lives in New York, think about it. So, I mean, come off of it. Like everything that these people are saying can't be a lie. And some people are saying, like the people who are talking aren't even related to each other. Like totally different people have the exact same information that has not hit newsstands. So that means that either Tanya reached out to a lot more than 28 blogs and television stations, or there are some people in your circle who is spilling your business as well, sir. So you might want to check your staff as well.
And I wanted believers to know that no matter what it is that you did in your past, you can outlive it in your present. Regrettably, those of you who have said the most vile, nasty, and negative things did it behind scripture. You did it under the guise of being saved, not calling for prayer, but immediately calling for crucifixion. I didn't say that I was perfect, nor do I pretend to be. But don't come for me unless I invite you.
Ooh.
All of us are in a journey of a process of trying to be better, trying to work out, and I am one of them. And so you have to forgive me because I'm not going to hold you long. Pastor, why are you running? I'm running because I got to get ready. Because Saturday, feed 8,000 families in Atlanta who don't have groceries. I think I got to announce that here because none of these bloggers are going to write about that. I got to go because as soon as I finish that, I got to open up Christmas City.
Okay, so I'm not here for the bragging. Why is he talking like a housewife? I'm not here for the bragging. I'm sorry, but he can brag on his own stuff somewhere else. And I can't. I'm not here for it. I kind of feel like this was about the dumbest thing that I just sat through and watched. Because I just, for the life of me, I don't understand why he would say something so stupid. There were so many things. There were so many things that was just so stupid in what he just said. And here I am thinking that he is going to stand up for Gizelle and you know what I'm saying? Like really put a lot of stuff to rest. And he did no such thing. Hi, Justin. The failures of his present. Giselle's own father said that there was an outside baby too. That is his present. I mean, a lot of people are talking about this baby and maybe I don't know. I don't see nobody walking around pregnant. Of course, now I do live 4 hours away from Atlanta, so I'm not trying to drive to Atlanta to see. I'm definitely not going to New Birth, but I mean, it's all over everywhere. I don't care what platform you go to. The story has spread so wide. There has to be somebody at New Birth or in the vicinity that knows he was sleeping with somebody, and maybe there used to be a baby and there's not anymore. Like, I don't know. But something happened to where you were having relations with somebody, and it was fornication or something happening. I mean, because you just don't make a baby and just snatch a baby out of thin air. I mean, I'm just saying. Like, that's come on. I'm looking for him to own his mess. I'm looking for Pastor Jamal Bryant to just own it. And you're right, he didn't clear anything up. Not one thing did he clear up. And I just don't understand why you even made this, other than to drag Chris and Monique. That's really the only thing that happened. Is no, I don't have a baby outside of the children that you already have. And you kept saying, I have not been in a relationship with anybody at new birth. I don't have a baby with anybody at new birth. I mean, everything that you said ended with at new birth. So not only did you not clear things up, but you kind of made yourself look even messier, if that makes sense. You guys know what I'm saying? Because everything had to end with at new birth. So now I'm thinking, well, what happened outside of new birth? Hi, Charvella. He is messy. The same way he was here in Baltimore, a whole liar, con, and he's not a real man of God doing what he's doing. Like, I don't understand. Like, either, be on, this side of the track, or be on that side of the track. Hi, no tolerance. You're the one that preached scripture to millions of people and slinging your peen around. You're the one that's playing with God. I mean, he's not doing a good job at either, obviously, because he got people calling him out left and right. And I just feel like he really should take a back seat. I just feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, are these places he is picking up women, Loretta? There's no telling where. I mean, like, I can't even. What'd you say? Check out Monique's Insta live stories. I hardly ever go on Instagram. That's probably why I miss so much stuff. Chelsea, hi. His kids do not like him. Kids know everything. I was not shocked or surprised when the children said on the show that they didn't want Jamal and Gizelle back together. I wasn't surprised at all. Giselle said Giselle said she was sleeping with Jamal. She did kind of dance around that, you know what I'm saying, that they were doing some stuff. She did put that out there. So, I mean, Charvella said there are 7 children. So he has 7 children. Is that how many children he has, including the children that he has with Giselle? QT, hi. So is Giselle gonna quit the show now since it was a production who made him look bad? I doubt that she'll leave the show. It'll probably be another, because Monique, put it out there that she can't keep a man to save her life or what. And my thing is, I'm like on pins and needles until the next reunion comes up. It should have been like back to back. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm looking at, why did Chris get so upset and, act like he was just going to go off on, these women that were sitting up there? His wife is the one that started all this mess in the first place. They probably wouldn't even talked about any of this on the reunion had Monique not kept her little binder at home with her glue sticks and stuff. Like, you know, they shouldn't have even allowed that. Like, no, we're not bringing any props. Candace, put your fan up. Go put your binder back up, Monique. We're not doing that this year. Like, you know what I'm saying? Natural says that they're playing with God. All of them, believe me, he is not pleased. It's not of God what they're doing. Like, this is not what God wants, especially not from a pastor. And I mean, this is a high profile pastor. Chambers said he made it clear that he was a whole man. He is a whole mess. And Giselle's daddy was absolutely right. And if I was Giselle, I would have listened to my dad. And Giselle said that she and Jamal have an image to protect. Well, this ain't it. This ain't how you do it, Giselle. This is not how you protect your image. I'm sorry, it's not. Whatever. Madison, well, he has put the church on blast like New Birth didn't already have issues. Right. That's the other thing. Like, keep new birth out of your mouth. You know what I'm saying? And I don't, I'm just saying, this is just me. I'm just a fan of Real Housewives of Potomac, so anytime something like this is going to happen, I'm looking at it and I'm like, you know what? Everybody can't be lying, Jamal. Everybody ain't lying. And for the first time since the Real Housewives of Potomac hit the airwaves, Gizelle is speechless. She is completely baffled, taken aback. She has no idea what to do. She is thoroughly embarrassed. The children are going to see this if they haven't already, and it's just a big mess. All because you can't get your stuff together. Be in a relationship with the mother of your children, Gizelle, or go on. I'm ready for the next episode too, unapologetic. I'm ready for the next episode because for me, they used to do this. Remember when like the reunions would come and they would have a first and set? It used to be like Sunday night, Monday night, and then maybe Tuesday night instead of waiting week after week. It used to be like that. Karen makes 40,000 per episode. Giselle is probably close. I doubt she'll leave, embarrassment or not. She's not going anywhere. She's not going anywhere. Now she might get fired, but she's not going anywhere. No Tolerance says that both of them are frauds. I also heard from a close source of theirs that the restaurant that he was supposed to have bought for the girls is also a lie. Someone else owns the restaurant. See, and this is what I'm saying. I'm going to stay right there for a minute because I was under the impression that he did that for TV. I'm not saying that the restaurant isn't real, but I'm just saying that, oh, I bought my daughter's a restaurant and I was thinking, dang, he's richer than I thought. He probably has some business partners, back there. But the restaurant, he gave it to the girls and they were learning the restaurant business and all that kind of stuff. But surely when you do something out of the kindness of your heart, you don't broadcast it all over the place. No. What you do is you hook up with your ex-wife who happens to be on a reality TV show. Right. Hoover fan, hi. What person, how was they not going to allow her to prove her case versus what they did to her on national TV? Interesting. I was wondering, and who said this? QT. I was wondering if he would give her the ultimatum since he's putting on production. Oh, Unapologetic says, yes, Jamal was fair game. If the storyline is a lie, he signed up to be mentioned. He is supposed to be sitting behind Giselle. Exactly. That's my whole point. This whole thing just didn't play out the way anybody expected it to. And Jamal just, he doesn't know how to play the game. He doesn't know how to play the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, you look crazy, and you got Giselle looking crazy. Okay? You got Giselle looking real stupid right now. I'm not, I'm not even lying. All the way crazy. Now, Jamal Bryant has been in he's been in the public side for a long time. Sometimes it's for doing good things, sometimes it's for doing crazy stuff. But when you keep doing crazy stuff, when you keep doing unsavory things, when you keep doing stuff, it's like for a moment, the people in Atlanta at New Birth had to have thought Jamal is a better person. We can accept him as the pastor now because he's not like he used to be. And that's what you're claiming, that you're not like you used to be. But then there's so much going on behind closed doors that we don't know. And I'm sorry, but by coming on the live stream tonight and doing this, you made yourself look worse and you made Giselle look irrelevant. You mentioned your girlfriend, at the beginning and saying that Giselle was the one that wanted you on the show or whatever, but you were against it. Every fiber in your being was against it, but you did it for her. Why? You didn't say because I love Giselle, because she's the mother of my children, because me and Giselle are getting back together. You never once called this woman anything. And you admitted that you have not spoken to your ex father in law in over 10 years. I know that's right, QT. A hit dog will holler, and that's exactly what he did. Madison said he's going to lose his job. He probably, maybe that's what it was. This right here was an attempt to save his job. This was an attempt to save his job. That's what that was. Chambers said he put his job in jeopardy over this foolishness. He's probably in talks for Bravo show for himself. This man is strategic and pathological. You know what? Gizelle might get a spinoff. And then, all this talk about I wouldn't be on a reality show, maybe it'll be Jamal and Gizelle. I don't know. Carvella says that he got kicked out of Baltimore and made it like he needed to go to New Birth to keep the legacy going since Eddie Long passed away. You know what? I could tolerate Eddie way more than I can Jamal. And I used to be team Jamal because when I first saw him online, I loved the way that he broke things down in the ministry and he could literally, speak to where I understood. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really impressed with the hooping and the spitting all over the microphone and all this kind of stuff. I could do without all that, but I really could appreciate the way that he presented a message before you get to all the hooping and jumping around and stuff. I'm not down with that. I need to understand what you're saying without you having an asthma attack. I need you to get the phlegm out of your throat. That's not why I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like all that. Like I just feel like you can, preach without all that going on. You know what I'm saying? But I do agree with no tolerance by him not showing up to the reunion or to the photo shoot. It would make it easy for him to deny Giselle or other women. Exactly. He can always say that he was there faking it for her storyline. I totally agree with that. He was just there cooperating for the storyline, which is supposedly what the text was about that Monique was talking about. Now, when I get to talking about Monique, listen, now it's going to be a whole nother ordeal. We're going to get to see Chris go off, and Chris and Monique, they are a united front. We're going to get to see them go off. But listen, I want to know what's going to happen after tonight because he has really put a big fireball in the air talking about Chris and possibly having a disability. That there can get your whole operation shut down. You're not the only one, Jamal Bryant, who has lawyers. I'm I am certain that Monique and Chris have attorneys. And after tonight, I'm sure they've already heard about it. You might be in bigger trouble because that's a huge accusation to just, you know what I'm saying? That's huge. That's huge to say that someone has a disability and he also, can't control his anger, can't control his temper. And you said this out of your mouth. And then you tried to erase the live stream. You tried to erase it as if nobody captured this. Are you kidding me right now? Tanya, hi. Jamal needed that paycheck since they aren't meeting in the church. Them tithes and offerings are probably a little low. I don't know if they offered him any money to be on the show because he's not, he's a side kick or whatever. But if they did, I'm pretty sure that's why he allowed them to film him for more than one show. Rita, hi. Well, she should have found a better time to defend herself. Also, she started the fight by flipping Candace's hair. That's really what I was going to talk about. Was that lawsuit? Because people love to get a lawsuit, don't they? My Lord in heaven, love to get a lawsuit going. And I mean, she can say all day that she saw Candace's hand go under her chin or she saw a glass flying and that's why she attacked Candace, but cameras don't lie. And you meant to do that. And I don't believe that she really went to talk to her pastor about why she attacked Candace with good intentions. I think she did that just for the show. Just like when she asked to hold Ashley's baby, it was just for the show. Like now we're holding babies. Now, we're talking to the pastor. But when you release that song called Drag Queens, Did you talk to the pastor then about that, Monique? You didn't? I didn't think so. Carvella says 2020 has brought out a whole lot of demons with this pandemic. I know. But the saints are getting stronger too. Will the real saints stand up? Hello? Reese says, well, this may be a good storyline for Gizelle next year. Monique and Chris have long money. I think that Monique and Chris, if they want to stay in reality TV, that they should probably get their own show. They don't fit in. I think Chris could fit in because he really does like the fellas. Nobody likes Ashley's husband, but the other men I think he can get along with. I think if Gizelle actually talks Jamal into staying on the Real Housewives, um, I think that it'll make for good TV because Chris and Jamal clearly have issues now. So, and there's a whole lot of ways that this could spin. There's a whole lot of ways this could spin. And I think that Bravo is looking at it from a money standpoint, whereas Jamal is looking at it from I have something I have something to gain, from Giselle. And he's been on that show before the first season. He was there, talking to his children. I remember that from the first season of The Real Housewives of Potomac. So, do I believe that he is against reality TV? I don't believe that. I believe that Jamal is in some sorts an opportunist where he sees that, this is a good opportunity for me to show my face. And now what am I going to do with my 15 minutes of fame? Do I believe that Jamal has good intentions for, people? I believe that, you're born how you're born. And I believe that he wants to do good, for people, but that has nothing to do with his character because on the inside of him is something of a womanizer. And I feel like he cannot get that part of his life together. He's a womanizer. And, you know, I'm I don't know, man. I don't know. He's attractive to people who look at the dollar signs and they look at the fame. And yes, it would be great to, be the first lady of a church that size and all of this kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, do you really want to attach yourself to somebody like this? Because he may have thought he represented himself well tonight, but at the end of the night, at the end of the day, he really looks stupid and messy. And he did not look like a pastor at all. Not tonight. Not in that live stream. I'm sorry. He just that's just my commentary. That's I mean, not at all. I would not look at that and be proud to call him my pastor. Not at all. Hi, Virginia. What's really crazy though is everyone is adding on this high school drama like it's 100% true or as if they were present when everything happened or not. Um, I don't know what that means. YIT. I don't know. Killing. I don't know what that means. Anyway, thank you, Virginia. Appreciate it. I don't know what YITNGUES means, but thank you. Um, Monique is definitely all about image, Jay. I totally agree with you on that. I spotted that from the first moment she was on Potomac. This woman came out talking about she was a rapper and, she could do this, that, and the third, being completely and utterly disrespectful to Chris's mom, regardless of how this woman, came at her. I think that there is a better way to handle circumstances. I don't believe that Monique came on the show with intentions to represent us as women in a good light. And I have been waiting season after season for Monique to hit somebody. Didn't know it was going to be Candace, but she is one of those chicks that will go all the way off. And she did. I think it was a little over the top that Giselle brought a bodyguard to the meeting that they had. But at the same time, I can see how she felt that way. She's been threatened. Has she not been threatened by Monique before? Has she not been threatened? Did she say she was gonna drag anybody else beside Candace? The green-eyed ladies in Candace are jealous of Monique, period. I guess. That's just me though. Like I don't see anything to be jealous of. I think all of the ladies are beautiful, but I think when it comes down to personalities clashing, all of these ladies do not mix well. Not at all. I think that they Red, stop. What I think, and this is just my honest opinion. This is my little commentary. I feel like after watching some of the housewives, I think Potomac is a little confusing to a lot of people because Potomac is a very old money and upstanding uh, place on the map where presidents go to play golf and all of this stuff. We didn't know any of this stuff was going on. We didn't know any of this stuff was going on. I think Bravo went and found the messiest people in Potomac and said, "There's our show." And they are feeding into it. And instead of, doing, good and, like Gizelle said, let's represent in the best light that we can, you know, and it is a little scripted. I will say that. All reality shows have a little nudge. That's why they have so many producers. If something happens and the show says we can build on that mess, that's messy right there. Let's build on it. Of course, they're going to egg you on. They're going to amp you up to where it blows up. It becomes a big thing. And I think they feed into that. And I think that these women are too old for that. I can see Ashley falling for that. I can see Candace falling for that because they're the youngest on the show. But as far as Gizelle and Karen, and yes, even Monique, I can't see, you know what I'm saying? The only person that I can see, ladies and gentlemen, not falling for the okey doke of the show is Miss Wendy, the African queen. Yeah. That I can't I That's the only person that I see not swallowing the Kool-Aid for real. I love these comments. It's above me now, says Giselle is most definitely jealous of Monique ever since she tried to read her for having one house and Monique informed her that she had four. She's hated her ever since. Hmm. But then when Wendy came on the show, Giselle didn't bat an eye that Wendy had 4 degrees. And everybody knows Wendy has 4 degrees because she has said it a million times on the show. Just saying. Hi, Diane. He always does this after he is exposed. Remember, T.I. exposed the church scamming rich people, middle class people at his church. I can't stand him. It's always going to be, and I was waiting for this, but I thought it would have been at the reunion. I didn't think that he would take to social media and do this. I thought since he made appearances on the show that, he would definitely take the time out to, rectify all the situations and answer questions right there at the reunion. So Carvella says, why bring a binder and read read from it upside down? He could have been speaking off the rip. That's why when he said, uh, I didn't I can't read my own handwriting, he really couldn't read his own handwriting because it was upside down. I mean, if it were me, I would have turned my binder right side. I'd be like, excuse me, my notes were upside down or something. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, that is right. Who said that? Wendy and Giselle do have a sorority bond. Yes, you guys read Tamika, you guys are absolutely right. So that's a whole nother situation right there. So they're gonna be friends regardless because she did say that. That's my soror. Okay, so you're right. Other than that, they probably would have been beefing. Hi, Lois. Lois says that they already said that Jamal and Giselle would come up with a plan for a reason for him not to come on the show. Also, for when they break up. You know what? If Tanya ain't a big enough reason to break up, I don't know what is. Well, Wendy was always team green eyes from the jump. So they had no reason to hate. Yeah, I mean, I think they knew. They knew, you know what I'm saying? Hey, this is my sister, this is my soror. So, we're gonna be down for each other, regardless. Especially, yeah, we're not gonna have beef on the show. You know what I'm saying? No tolerance says Giselle probably feels like Wendy is beneath her because she isn't that attractive, so she isn't threatened by her. I feel what you're saying, But for me, I think I would Wendy is all that in a bag of Doritos. This woman is bad from the top of her weave to the bottom of her red bottoms. Like the way even the way she stands and the way she sits. And I mean, she's just so poised and so graceful. Like I'm sorry, but I'm team Wendy. I am. I tried to be team Giselle, but Giselle is so messy and she's always gunning for people. It's like everybody's not out to get you, Giselle. Dang. Everybody is not out to get you. Come on. Like cut that crap out. Be an adult about it already. God. That's what I don't like about Giselle. She always has something smart and nasty to say, and Candace is like that too. But it's like you have to bark or bite at Candy in order for her, to get started because she's like a little chihuahua. But I like Candace. I like the beauty queen, but my God, like just can we just get Candace in the studio and just bombard her with the album, the work of the album, so that, she can calm down? You know what I'm saying? Then maybe after she gets the album out of the way, then she can have babies. Maybe. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I am still upset with Ashley though, because Ashley should not have leaned on to Monique's side and represented Monique in court after she was supposedly trying to get a relationship back together, a friendship with Candace. Now that was that was ratchet. That was ratchet in my eyesight. Scorpio says that I bet he hangs out with Umar Johnson. They are similarly inclined. Oh God, y'all are funny. uh Rihanna Nicole, am I saying your name right? Hi. Wendy is beautiful and accomplished. Her personality just seems insufferable at times. All right, you're saying I hope what did I just see? I hope all this BMS comes out. He's definitely in the wrong job. I agree. He made nothing better. We see through the lies. He didn't make anything better. Ashley can express her negative experience with Candace to help her friend Monique. Why not? Because she was forging a relationship with Candace and she made it seem like, she wanted to give Monique a chance or whatever, but at the same time, she knew that it would hurt Candace. So she threw Candace away like, a dirty dish rag. It was like, why did you even try to be Candace's friend if you were going to do this? I know YouTube is trying to kick me off, girl. No tolerance at right. We see Wendy's poise in class, but I don't think Giselle sees it. And Giselle will fake it with Wendy just to shade Karen since Wendy and Karen don't get along. I actually see Wendy and Karen probably getting along in the future. I just feel like they need to start over. Um, that's crazy. I just feel like they need to start over. I don't see a reason why Karen would be rude to Wendy. I still don't get it. And I don't think Karen even has a reason. It's just automatically, let's pretend like they don't click and this is going to be the drama in it all. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how I feel about that. Yeah, Candace did throw shade at Ashley. Um, I didn't like Ashley's song either, so I'm not gonna speak on that. What about it's just a human correct thing to do? Why lose her kids and freedom because of Candace causing chaos? They are jealous of Monique. I just can't see anybody being jealous of Monique, but that's just me. I'm not rich or anything. I didn't marry a ball player or anything like that. But my thing is that they all are in a well-to-do place. So there's nothing to be jealous of. You chose the lifestyle that you have. And so you make great decisions from here on out. You know what I'm saying? None of them are living paycheck to paycheck. None of them, have anything hanging over their head that will take anything away from them. They all live in beautiful homes. They're driving nice cars. I don't see any of them starving to death. So there's really nothing for you to be jealous of. I do commend Candace, however, for saying there's a little part of her that is a little bit jealous because Ashley has children and she can't make up her mind whether she wants them or not. I think that was really grown up of Candace, but I also agree that Candace can be a little reckless with her mouth. But I'm like this: I don't care what you say about me. There's nothing that can drag me out of my character, not one iota. Because when I look at my life and I look at, my kids, my family, there's nothing that I would want to say or to do that will cause them embarrassment. And I certainly wouldn't let someone, in the same class as me bring me down. So just so that they can look good. I think that Monique, um, she's often talked about the things in her life between her and Chris, and she feels like she's not being supported by Chris, and he never does anything for her birthday. And I think that some of the stuff at home going on had to do with that. So she took it all out, on Candace. But my thing was, you went back and tried to beat the girl down some more. You, it wasn't just that one time. It wasn't just, well, I got her, I'm gonna leave it alone. You ran around the building and I mean, really though, it ain't that deep. No Tolerance said, remember though, a few of them owe millions of back taxes. This is true. But I mean, look at Robin. She owes, what is it, $90,000 or whatever, and she's just bopping around Potomac, just as happy, with her little, internet business. You know what I'm saying? She's not bothered. She's not bothered. All she cares about is Juan. And I would be concerned. I don't think I'd be like, all I care about is Juan, but I would be concerned with Juan because Juan is a cheater, pumpkin eater as well. And he admitted to his cheating. So, hey, yeah, I want to like Wendy so bad. I just feel like this season aligned her in a weird side. I wish she would came in and held her own. Wendy is a force to be reckoned with. I mean, she really is. She's drop dead gorgeous. She's listen. I get Wendy. She's a woman. She's her own woman. She's gonna stand her ground. That girl ain't to be reckoned with. I think they need to leave Wendy alone. I think that they have met their match in Wendy. Okay. I think that you need to form good alliances with Wendy. Yes, I do. Unapologetic said, wait, Candace was throwing knives, yet she gets what? She gets a pass. See, that goes to show y'all that Candace is not really from the hood, because in the hood we didn't throw butter knives, and she didn't actually throw it. She had it in her hand, but I need a knife with an edge. That little butter knife wasn't gonna hurt nobody. That butter knife was not going to hurt anybody. Sophia, hi. All the ladies don't live in Potomac. Monique and Karen do. I am from the DMV. There is probably some jealousy there. Probably. I feel like, I mean, there is room for jealousy a little bit, but when you look at these ladies, again, you're not starving, nice houses, nice cars, you know, you're not hurting for anything. What's with the jealousy? Are you jealous because you can't sing like Candace? Are you jealous of Monique because of her husband? Certainly it's not because she has a house full of kids and a bird. I mean, what is the jealousy? Where is all this coming from? Everybody is in their element. These women should be coming together, celebrating each other instead of causing, havoc in all of this foolishness. I mean, seriously. I but this season I was a little upset with Karen. I'm not even gonna lie. No Tolerance said, remember when you was a kid and stayed out later than you were supposed to, and you knew you was gonna get in trouble anyway, so you stayed out even later. That was Monique with the fight. I might be getting fired anyway, so I'm gonna just go finish her off. Like, oh my God. I need these people to grow up. Juan lost all respect for Robin when she went behind his back and lost all the money she earned. There's no coming back from that. I mean, I lost all respect from Juan, when he said, I cheated. It's just really, I lost respect for Juan. I'm not a fan of Juan. You got a divorce from this woman, and instead of moving on and moving out, you stayed in the house and you said it was for the kids. No, it was because you ain't want to spend that money or you didn't have any money. That's what that was. Diane said that he's a joke. New Birth is in trouble, lol, with him. That church stays in confusion and scandal. I would be afraid for him to be my pastor. Monique is a bad chick. She taught her son to use the potty at 3 months and taught the bird to use the pot stool. She is bad, I guess. I just am not a fan of Monique. Like, I don't get why she's on that show. I think that that right there, eh, you know, I think they just needed to fill a space, and Monique happened to be, available because Katie is a mess. They tried to bring her back on the show as a friend, and I think Katie is just like a little too suicidal for the show, so that didn't work. Do you think verbal abuse or violence warrants physical attack? How much verbal abuse is to be tolerated? I think both of them. Let me just be clear on this. I think a lot of these women, almost every last woman on that show, with the exception of um Robin, because I don't think Robin really knows how, to attack somebody, You know what I'm saying? She if she would learn how to be nice, nasty. But I'm saying this because of, what I see. I watch all of the franchises of the Real Housewives. Love Bravo TV. And these women have a tendency to have a tongue with a double-edged sword, excuse me. All of them should be ashamed of themselves at some point for how they speak about each other and for how they speak to each other. And I think if you're going to dish it, you need to be able to take it. And I feel like as much trash as Monique has talked, and every last one of them on that show has talked trash, but don't be lashing out at Candace because she's the little chihuahua, or because she wasn't afraid to bark back. And I think that's why, I like Candace, is because, you might come for her, but just because she's a little woman, doesn't mean that, she won't snap back, you know. And I mean, Candace is a little bit of a product from her mother. When I hear Candace speak, I don't necessarily hear Candace. I hear her mother when she says ghetto and trash and hood rats. I hear her mother. I don't hear Candace. That is all of her mother right there. You don't wallow in the gutter with trash. That is Candace's mom all day, every day. And every one of these women, it's gonna be one mama, like on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. It is Candy Burris's mama. So on the Real Housewives of Potomac, it's Candace's mama. See, Candace. But I think you should really watch yourself. If you cannot control yourself and keep your hands to yourself, then you don't need to be on this show. I think that Portia should have been fired when she put her hands on Kenya, and I think that Monique should be fired. I think that when it comes to physical violence, you should lose your job. You should just go. That should be a deal breaker. When you put your hands on somebody else, you have voided your contract. That's crazy. I would hate to be one of the kids and look at television one day and see my mom being beaten up. You know what I'm saying? Or see my mom beating someone else. I would not think that that is of God at all. Carvella said, I do have to get up and work in 7 more hours. Good night. Thank you for being here. Good. I know I'm gonna go myself. I've been on here for almost 2 hours and I didn't even know it. I did not know this was I didn't know it was almost 2 hours. You guys have been awesome. Loretta says, if the women are mean and nasty, where is the culpability of the husbands? I don't know, but I, and maybe these husbands are telling their wives in the privacy of their own homes. Thank you, Carvella. I appreciate it. Thank you. Sleep well. Have a good night. I think that their husbands are saying now, you really haven't been, because look at Monique's poor husband. Chris kept saying, that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. And you know what? I felt like what he really wanted to say was, I'm disappointed in you. And that's the first thing I thought of, because Monique's children are so little. I thought, oh my God, she just embarrassed this poor man. She just embarrassed this man. What are his friends gonna say? Oh, let's stop the narrative. Monique did it wrong. It's over. We move forward. I guess, but I guarantee you it's gonna come up next season. And I bet you they're not done talking about it on the reunion. I'm just saying. I am just saying, go, as my African ancestors would say, I am just saying. It's not over because they won't let it go. Can you imagine next season, ladies and gentlemen, how the season is going to start off with this fight? And I want to see how many people will actually accept Monique and how many won't. If Monique stays on the show, if she's allowed to stay on the show, if negotiations go, the right way, and she has a seat at the table next season, who's going to be team Monique and who won't be? You know what I'm saying? I hope we meet up again too. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for my super chat. I appreciate it. Veronica, it's on her channel. Whose channel? Yeah, Candace talks a lot. I mean, all of them talk a lot, but Candace is just very surprising. Like she said, she can use her words very well. Candace won't be back after wishing death on a vlogger. She won't be back. I can see them bringing her back. I can see them bringing her back. Will she accept the contract? I don't know. But I definitely can see Candace coming back to the show with the new house, her and Chris wanting to have a baby, her cutting a record in the studio. She has a lot of stuff going on that could benefit, in her favor. So I definitely see Candace coming back. All of them have fought NY Married to Medicine. Oh my goodness. Married to Medicine. Ooh. Are they going to bring that back? And if so, who's going to be on the show this upcoming season? I'm tired of Candace crying and folding that tissue. Well, she can't mess up her makeup, Red. She can't mess up her makeup. And then, if you cry too much, your lashes fall off. So she gotta keep them big old lashes intact. Some people are not talkers, they're doers. Monique is a doer. Monique should learn to keep her hands to herself, and she needs to go to anger management and work that out. I don't think her talking to her pastor was effective. I think she needs to go and talk it out with a counselor is what I think. Candace needs that check for that new home, absolutely, because the album hasn't been finished yet. So Candace definitely needs to keep her job. Hi, Sophia. Candace is nasty and might like that mess, and I think it's good TV. It is good for TV, but I hope that her life coach, really makes her do some homework as to why this isn't a good idea. Hi, Paris, Italy. She needs no baby. She's too psycho. I think, she's probably looking at Ashley going, the baby changed Ashley a little bit. So, children do seem to like calm you down a little bit, but I think that Candace is in a good place right now to continue working with a counselor, with a life coach or whatever, so that she can stop all the barking. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind Candace crying. I just want her to stop barking at people, because I like Candace, and I think she's super cute and big fun. I just want her, to just calm down a little bit. Ashley and Monique been friends for months. It's real. I saw them talking even after Ashley told Candace about helping Monique. I did see them, kind of corresponding together. So I kind of feel like, yeah, you know, she'll get over it. And then next season, we'll see who's friends and who's not. I'm just interested in knowing if Monique is going to actually be on the show, because negotiations could go the way that the Real Housewives of Atlanta negotiated with Nene Leakes. Because you see, Nene is gone and she's gone for good. And she's the one that started the whole show. She's the one that started the Real Housewives of Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken. And she got the boot. So I'm interested to see how this is going to go. Candace needs just as much anger management as Monique. I think they all need some sort of counseling. Candace having a baby will be the heavens giving her the blues with crying and screaming. I think she'd have a beautiful baby. He's a copycat and he needs a binder boy. Bye. You know who? Now I'm not a big Ashley fan, but I would like to see Ashley divorce her husband. Not for any bad reason. I just feel like he's not invested in this relationship for the right reasons. And I think that Ashley, she's proven herself to be a good mom. I think she can do it without him. I think that that man is Ashley's security blanket. And I feel like that's why she keeps him around, for the convenience and for the money. I just, it's, I don't know. All I when I see Ashley's husband, all I see is his hand reaching at the butt of one of the camera guys. I mean, seriously. Thank you. This narrator is stupid. Love life. Who is the narrator that is stupid? On my platform? I'd like to know. Veronica, Jamal should confront Bravo, Real Housewives of Potomac producers. It's been almost a year ago. Jamal is a liar. He's just talking without showing any proof, like Monique had proof. Yeah, it's just all for TV. Keep me in the public's eye, keep me relevant. Sophia says that Nene was the last original cast member of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I know. I was kind of shocked to see her go, but I mean, because I just knew I'm gonna have to suffer through a whole nother season of her yelling over everybody. Oh God, it's starting off to be a great season. I just hope it stays like that. Diane says that he's scared of Chris. That's a violation of HIPAA laws. Who told him that? Oh my God. Are the ratings down, Sharon? That's a shame. Yeah, she was smart in getting that post note, Sophia. Yeah, that was a smart move. She won't. She fears being poor. Uh-huh. I definitely agree with this, especially like, and then he's some type of comfort to Ashley because she doesn't have a relationship with her real dad. I'm saying, like, because you married somebody who's way older than you. Like, she is going to literally be middle aged when her husband is an old man. And I'm just now finding out that Karen married someone who's isn't Ray like 15 years older than Karen? That's hard. That's hard. Yeah, I agree. He is creepy. Super creepy. He's going to be broker when he's sued. Candace says so much, yet has to have a year's supply of tissue. She does. She's an emotional wreck right now. He's a coward and run confront Chris Samuels at the reunion. If I were him, I wouldn't confront anybody. Speaking of that butt grab, why did the lawsuit get dropped when Bravo had proof all along something in the milk ain't clean? I don't know, but it was very clear that he had his hands reaching out to that guy. And apparently he squeezed more than one butt. And he got caught in the hotel with his drawers on in front of the dresser in a hotel. And Ashley is still like, yeah, but I'm gonna take him back. And if he does it again, he's gone. I'm done. If he does it again, I'm done. Okay, Ashley, we believe you. If he does it again, I'm done. Well, what is this, like his second or third offense? Seriously, you're not done. You're not going to dump this guy. Jamal made Gizelle and himself look like the foolish person that they are. It was bad. Listen, this is just my feeling. If I were Giselle and I was getting back together with my ex, I would not have put it on the show and I wouldn't have told anybody. That would have been my business because you're not obligated to put every little thing on the show. That's just something that wouldn't have been negotiated. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you can have my boyfriend on there like she did that other guy or whatever, but that's just something that I would have been like, no, we're not going to put that part on my show. You need to make yourself relevant in some other type of way, but not using Jamal. Q, hi. Jamal is ridiculous and out of control. What he did is called a pride before the fall. He's definitely prideful. And you could tell by the way he carries himself that, he's got to have that camera at some point. The pastor said that he was their address, but he didn't pull up yet. He has their address, but he didn't pull up yet. He's not going to pull up. Never. We're never going to see that. Jamal got on live and says that he was single. He did. He did say that. So he confirmed that he was not in a real relationship with Gizelle. I mean, but that goes for the other women as well. That goes for Tanya as well, right? Because he said he was single. He said that he was not married. So, you know what I'm saying? Now we can see why Tanya, the hidden woman behind the scenes, is all, upset. And I mean, if it's true what Jamal was saying in the video that we saw earlier, I can guarantee you that that pastor from New York, Tanya, I feel bad for her because she didn't see this coming. I feel bad because, wow, you hung in there with Jamal for 8 years and this is how you allow him to talk to you? Because he was dragging that woman in that video. He drugged that woman. I mean, no, you can't come and speak at my church. No, I don't think you should start a magazine. You have, no substance. You have no this, you have no that. That's not even how you talk to a friend. I wouldn't say stuff like that to my friend, let alone somebody, whatever. He got on live and said that his daughters wear the church's merchandise. What was that supposed to tell us? He was confused about that. That's ridiculous. I'm not really team Jamal. You know what I'm saying? Like something ain't right with that. Jamal's, I don't know, persona or whatever. Jamal going to get sued. I believe it. I believe that Monique and Chris is going to come for Jamal because of what he said. You claim that Jamal claimed that Chris had a disability along with anger management. I mean, you don't do stuff like that. So you wanting to see the bloggers are one thing, but then Chris and Monique coming for you because of what you said, and guarantee you they probably have already seen the video. Guarantee you there will be another lawsuit. Hi, lovely. I don't think anyone told him that. He probably was just trying to say anything. I mean, it was a reach. I mean, it's like you've been hit in the head too much. Gee whiz. Jamal said he is dating. Gizelle looked so caught off guard during the reunion. I think she wanted the relationship to help her with her storyline. Oh, yeah, we've already confirmed that. But, I mean, Gizelle being on The Real Housewives of Potomac is a plus for Jamal. Giselle would be the perfect pick because they've already been married, and trying to reconcile on television is a good look for both of them, regardless of if she wants to be a first lady or not. It's just a good look. It's not working out the way they thought it was going to work out. Hi, Latoya. Antics like this is why people talk about the church. It's also why people don't want to go to church. So the pandemic is bringing out a lot when it comes because you don't have the four walls to hide behind anymore. Everything's more out in the open. And I feel like, I mean, like at my church, it's a really small church here where I live, and we're not, going back in the church, it may be this spring or something. Like, we just have to see how this pandemic is going to play out because nobody is wanting to gather. And, it's just a bit much. It's a bit much, we're not wanting to gather, and I need you to give me 6 feet. And, it's just a bit much. I'll watch at home. You know what I'm saying? I'll read the Bible for myself. How about that? Paris, they haven't learned not to come for the Samuels. They're a united front. I think that Chris and Monique are the only couple on the show that, comes together as a united front. Ashley tried it on the last episode of the season and Michael let her down, so they looked stupid. Okay. Um uh Jamal let Giselle down, so they looked stupid. Ray doesn't know if he's still in love with Karen, so they look crazy. Juan just confessed that he was a cheater all through their relationship with numerous women, so he makes them look stupid. And Wendy's husband, we just don't know about him yet, but he doesn't look stupid enough to cross Wendy. He does not look that stupid. Him and Giselle were using each other. Absolutely agree. Absolutely. He used Giselle to get out of that relationship with that woman, and she used him. I think they both used each other to have a storyline and to remain relevant. That's what I think. You did it for the CS issues. They need to fire Giselle for real. They do. I feel like if this was a farce and this was a setup and they lied to us, the public, the fans, I think that, yeah, they need to get kicked off the show. Just like Phaedra, aka Phaedra on Real Housewives of Atlanta, I believe that she was fired for that lie that she told on Candy. I believe that is also a deal breaker. I think that physical fighting is a deal breaker and lying for a storyline is a deal breaker. I think you need to lose your contract because of that. And so if it is found out that Giselle was lying and that her and Jamal were actually not getting back together, she needs to exit. Maybe she can ask them for a spinoff show or something. But, it is what it is. I appreciate that Ashley and Michael revealed information about the relationship. Well, yeah, because at the end of the day, we were looking at, Ashley like she was a little dumb. Like what? But at the same time, listen, if you guys have an open marriage, that's one thing. You may, people with this open marriage crap, whatever. That's one thing. But at no point in time, did this woman say it was okay for you to get a hotel room and just go, have a woman. You can't do that by yourself. Ashley said you could do that with me, but not by yourself. And now she doesn't want to do it at all. So I guess she felt like, good night, just be real. Thanks for coming. She probably felt like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna just give you a pass because maybe you didn't know. But this man is not that dumb, okay? He's not stupid. He knew what he was doing. You got caught. And the little woman that caught you in the hotel put your picture on the blogs, on the rags, or whatever, and you got caught. And so he was just too drunk to know anything, right? Stephanie, hi. That's why they are hating on the Samuels, because they are united. They create a united front. I hate that Monique let the public know how disappointed she is in Chris from time to time with the birthdays and him not paying attention to her and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, Monique, you married a football player. He's used to all the attention being on him. So that's what you married. You know what I'm saying? Um, Diane says what Giselle is going to do next season. We know it's a 6 month gap. So buy some Pampers, Jamal. Oh my goodness. So he only loves them FOH. Portia didn't get fired. She didn't. And the other housewife has fault and didn't get fired. Nope, they should have though. Monique should not be fired. She should, because she was provoked. So were the others. Candace woke up the bear and got clawed. I think that both of them have a foul mouth. Neither one of them should have been talking to each other in that manner. If you don't like somebody, leave them alone. I think both of them were very immature. And, Monique just let it get the best of her and she beat up someone that she's bigger than. Just I like Candace though. I'm just poking fun. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like it was very immature. I think that's something that we didn't need to see. We didn't want to see. That's not what we wanted. You could put your big girl drawers on and not like me all day and just speak and keep it moving. Don't flip my hair, though. Don't act like you're going to drag me. Don't do that. And if you touch me, I'm like Candace's mom. I'm fixing to call some laws. Somebody's fixing to carry you away in a paddy wagon or something because you're not fixing to touch me. You're not fixing to pull. Do you know how much weave costs nowadays? Not fixing to try to pull my weave out. Are you kidding? Veronica says, Jamal, if you talk to the producers, you should have talked to the producers second time to cut that information out of Real Housewives of Potomac reunion before it aired on TV. True, true. Mm-hmm. Q says, what do you think that Jamal meant when he said he lives in Atlanta but is from Baltimore? I know what it sounded like to me, and he doesn't want that smoke at all. You know what? Jamal needs to be a pastor or he needs to sit down. That's really what I think. I think he needs to be a pastor or he needs to sit down. Big Bear 71, can you please explain to me how is it that Gizelle can be so nice looking and still can't keep one man? It's her attitude. Also, Candace got what she deserved because of the mouth she has. Nobody deserves that. Keep your hands to yourself. You don't have to hit people. We're human beings. We're not animals. That's not what we do. We don't act like Neanderthals. That's not what we do. And I do agree with the other women when they said, we've talked about each other, we've drug each other for filth, but we've never put our hands on each other. That is the one thing that the Real Housewives of Potomac had over all the other shows in that franchise. Did y'all realize that? Because y'all probably don't watch like Orange County and New York, but nobody has ever gotten into a fight on the Real Housewives of Potomac until Monique. But all the other franchises, New York, Orange County, Atlanta, all of them have gotten into a fight. Every last one of them. And so Potomac had that one thing above all the other franchises. And now it's gone. They can't say that anymore. They have no more bragging rights. He is. He's still straddling. I don't even think it's so much. Let me go back. I feel like it's not so much of a straddle. I think it's just, something that he needs to work on. He needs to be delivered from womanizing. There is a way a woman thinks and a way a man thinks. And the way women think is that if I give my body to you or if I start caring about you, if emotions get involved, we're in a relationship. We're together. You cannot have a relationship with a man for 8 years and not, number one, set some boundaries of what this relationship is, and number two, not feel anything. So, what Jamal was doing and what Tanya was feeling were two completely different things. Yep, I did see the police report. Didn't the police report say that Candy released the glass on Monique? It did from what we saw on the show. But the footage that we saw, even in slow motion, did not, nobody saw the glass being removed. We saw the glass fly up, but we didn't see it, release, as she said. I believe Candace threw the drink. No, it didn't look like that at all. From what we saw on the show, that glass did not come out of Candace's hand because her head was already down. I don't know where her hands were, but I felt it looked like she was trying to get her hair out of Monique's hands. She was bleeding. She was bleeding. I don't know if it was a cut, but the blood looked like it was coming from the inside of her mouth. I'm not really sure. I don't know. But Candace was drinking the white wine, but red wine is what got on Monique. And I don't know where that blood came from. I don't know if she got cut or, if something, hit her so hard that it made the blood come. I don't know. But what I do know is what Monique said and what actually happened on the video that everybody saw was two totally different things. And so it took Robin to call her out on that. So I don't know, but it was so stupid and how they were acting on social media that a judge decided to throw it out. That was it for me. Like that, for me, that was it. So both of y'all ruined the case. Stay off of social media. Candace could have won that. She could have won. She had evidence. She could have won that one. But oh well. No. Robin and Ashley almost got physical. They did. Yep, Giselle and Ashley. They almost got physical. Almost. Can anyone come up with a viable reason why Monique kept baiting Candace when she supposedly made up Gigi and she still was trying to be Giselle? Can anyone come up with a viable reason why Monique kept baiting Candace? I just feel like Candace was the low man on the totem pole. I'll say it again. She's like the little chihuahua. You know what I'm saying? She's just, she looked like she may have been the most vulnerable. She's got a big bark. She does have a big bark, but Candace just doesn't look like, she's going to hit you back. You know what I'm saying? I just, like Chris said, it's unfortunate, isn't it? It's unfortunate. It really is. Monique showed her proof of text messages. Jamal, you're lying. It showed proof. Well, as for being on Larry Reed Live last night and hearing what he had to say when he called the ex girlfriend of Jamal Bryant and what she had to say, it did not make Jamal look good at all. That's, I'm going to leave it at that. Didn't make Jamal look good at all. Nope. Not at all. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen next for Giselle and Jamal, but we shall see, because I will stay on this case. All right, guys, guess what? I've been on for 2 hours and 20 minutes and I got to go because I got to get some sleep because I have to work in the morning. I got some stories to put out on the channel. So if you have not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the channel because there is more news coming from around the world. Thank you guys so, so much for being here. I appreciate every last one of you. Again, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to live on purpose, and I will talk to you guys in another video or live stream. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Bye for now.